you. Woo!
We bike. We back.
Woo!
All of us are back. All of the real ones are here today.
Everyone that matters is here.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame lounge. Let's go. We are presented by Bet365. Never ordinary.
Not once.
Here to get you set for Nuggets, Cavs. Nuggets in Cleveland tonight. Second game of a 5-game road trip that already feels like a long road trip, even though it's only the second game. We'll go over some game notes. We'll talk about this guy to my right, who's back with us today.
Yes, sir.
Talk about Zach LaVine and where he might go to trade.
Less exciting.
And then Dev will give us his best bets for the night. I'm Harrison Wynn, joined by Brendan Vogt.
What's cracking, fellas? Really excited for this one. The Nuggets need one. What have they done over the years when they need one? They go and they get one. Early game, what a treat.
What was the inspiration behind your outfit for tonight? Can you just show off the footwear?
Yeah, I went with like nice dress shoes for the first time in 5
sir.
years. Yeah.
You
Do
look
you know
great.
why I win? It's my Sunday best. That's why.
That's why I was asking for the inspiration. I'll take it. Also joined by Eric Wedum. You know him as D-Line. Back with us.
Let's go. Guys, I'm back to my second home, the United States.
Yeah.
Feeling
you got
good.
citizenship over there?
I feel like I could get it if I just asked anyone.
I feel like
Politely.
you should. You could get it if you don't go through the normal channels.
That's what I mean. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I could ask literally any person on the street and be
Yeah.
granted, like a citizen's arrest. I think you can have like citizenship.
Right. We probably know a guy or something. Also joined there
Backdoor
on the end by
channel.
Superstar Dev.
I mean, I was kind of excited going into this game. But Eric's back, baby.
Let's
I am
go.
super
Let's
excited.
go.
And he's in
Let's
a great mood. Like, we're in for another couple weeks of just nothing but
Oh,
highs.
I'm jet lagged
Highs.
AF. I gotta let you know. Anything that seems high is purely fake at this point. Let's go.
All right. Well, I'll get your take on the team in 1 second.
Yeah.
First, though, Nuggets in Cleveland tonight. Let's get to the game notes. A couple injuries for the Cavs, I believe. They're a little shorthanded tonight.
That's right, Wind. Let's do some housekeeping. Injury report for Denver, Vlatko, Jamal. They will be out tonight. For Cleveland, Ty Jerome out with a right ankle sprain. Donovan Mitchell out with a right hamstring strain. That sounds familiar. Isaiah Mobley, not the other Mobley. Isaiah Mobley. G League 2A assignment. Isaac Okoro is out with left knee injury management, and Ricky Rubio is not with the team right now. This just in, Cleveland will start Darius Garland, Max Strus. What's Wade's name again?
Dean?
That's right, Dean Wade, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. Garland, Strus, Wade, Mobley, Allen will start for Cleveland. And the notable pregame quotes were about Zeke Naji. The non-Jokic minutes, also known as the Zeke Naji minutes, were a big topic of conversation / concern after the loss. Bennett Durando from the Denver Post asked Michael Malone about Zeke Naji's minutes and what Zeke can do to be on the floor more. Malone says, sometimes it's not that Zeke isn't doing his job. It's just that I know exactly what Aaron Gordon's going to give me when he has to guard great players like Kawhi or Zion. That being said, with tonight being the front end of a back-to-back, Malone added, I've got to find ways to give Zeke more minutes, whether that's at the 4 with Nikola. That's how Malone says it, Nikola, at the 5 behind Nikola, whatever it may be. I never have to worry about Zeke going out there and leaving it all out there. That part is true, but the production, fellas, wasn't it there last game? Will it be there tonight? Denver needs it.
So Zeke Naji only played, I believe it was 4 minutes
-10.
in the loss against the Pelicans. 4 first half minutes, was cut from the rotation in the second half. Yeah, he was a -10. Didn't record a stat other than 2 turnovers, 2 fouls. What's your guys' read on this? Is this a vote of confidence in Zeke Naji? Is he going to potentially play more tonight? Is Mike Malone going to look to get him more minutes, or are we about to get Maloned and he's about to play DeAndre Jordan?
I'm familiar with this game right here. This is like hype your guy up enough for when he does get benched. He still has things to like feel confident about, things to work on. I absolutely think that we're going to see DeAndre Jordan in this game. This is just kind of Malone's MO, and it also motivates his guys, really, because it's like, hey, you've had your chance, you didn't go it. Like, so we want more of that. What he did was he called his guy out through another guy. We know exactly what we're getting from Aaron Gordon every single time. We need you to be consistent too. So I think that we see another game from Zeke where he does not play a lot.
What do you think?
Yeah,
Elon?
this is the tough love portion of the Michael Malone experience. Like Zeke Naji has been on the team for a while, but he hasn't been like on the team. He's been just sort of like on the bench, and this is the first year we're actually looking to him to contribute. So I'm not surprised. Like, I mean, I foresaw a scenario coming in that Zeke would be useful at times, but like not useful always. And it sounds like truth be told, I didn't see any of that Pelicans game, so I don't know how bad it looked. But the stats looked bad as I got off the plane. But you know, like that's what it is. Like a player like Zeke is like so like you don't know what his position is. You know, it's like you can't just like pencil him as like he's going to be the guy every single night because he's like such a tweener. You know, so I'm not surprised that he's getting a little bit of tough love, but I also would be surprised if we didn't see him tonight.
And, you know, in defense of Zeke, the Zeke minutes are the non-Jokic minutes to this point in the season.
Yeah.
So if it boils down to I feel like Zeke is the problem, there's a little bit of, well, no kidding. Those are the non-Jokic minutes, and those have always been the problem. So it's not exactly a position to succeed in, which is why Malone mentioning maybe playing him with Jokic more was interesting. I don't know if I would say exciting, but interesting. All that said, you know, he's not providing really anything offensively right now. The effort is there defensively. He can draw some fouls on the boards, but he's not going to save the day. So that's just, I probably wouldn't expect that to change anytime soon. It's maybe more of as the Nuggets get healthy, his fit makes more sense. But you're not going to see him start scoring 8-10 points a game.
How bad did the bench look bad?
Other than Christian Brown, yeah.
And the crazy part is he only played 4 minutes. So, like, to think about we're spending this much time on a guy that only played 4 minutes, like, it goes to show how bad it went in that time. And it's not all on him. Like, really, it's not. But I think it's just so many meh games in a row that you're like, hey, it has to fall on someone. And he's the scapegoat right now.
Yeah.
Michael Malone talked about potentially playing him next to Nikola Jokic more. And I think something that could come because of that is more three-point attempts for Zeke Naji. Do you guys know how many threes Zeke has taken this season?
5. Like 1 or 2?
It's 5.
Jeez.
He's taken 5 threes. He's 1 of 5. And Isaiah Stewart,
guys, 25%.
the center that Zeke Naji could be matching up against the Pistons tomorrow night, is shooting 40% on 54 three-point attempts this season.
Wait, Isaiah Stewart?
Isaiah Stewart, who was the other guy the Nuggets were going to pick in that draft if it wasn't Zeke Naji.
Say it ain't so.
And that man is crazy.
Yeah.
Like insane. He'll fight you.
Yeah. But if you're playing Zeke next to Jokic, that could lead to some more three-point opportunities. Right now, it seems pretty clear to me that the coaching staff has instructed Zeke and the second unit offense is set up in a way where Zeke Naji's role is to set a screen and then roll to the rim.
No doubt.
Set another screen, then roll to the rim.
Yeah.
It's clear to me that he's not being asked to pick and pop. It's clear to me that he's just, by how the offense is designed, there's just not a lot of three-point opportunities for him. And we heard about him working on the shot all summer. That's been the case the last couple years.
Man.
That could be a way to get him some more three-point opportunities. That being said, I don't know if I'm super comfortable or feel really confident in him taking threes, but that's the first thing I thought of.
Dude, it's wild how like fragile the ecosystem of the Denver Nuggets is. Like it feels like we have a pretty deep team, but if you lose Jamal Murray, like the chain reaction of what it does to the bench, what it does to players like Zeke Naji, having to play with like different point guards, like the role, because like it's crazy. I mean, it's the fit is so perfect, but it's like so delicate.
Mm-hmm. Dev, who do you got your eye on tonight? Who are you watching closely?
It's probably Zeke.
Okay.
It's that bench.
Wow, have fun, dude.
Because really,
best
like,
4 minutes of your life, dude.
if you get the bench to get it together, if you get the bench to get the identity, and you get stellar play from them, these games become that much easier. And right now, look, he is the scapegoat. So, like, he desperately needs a good game, or you have to find other options. And this is the option that they wanted to go with. They had at no point wanted to play DeAndre Jordan. They don't want to play Aaron Gordon too many minutes at the backup center, and he's a starter. You need Zeke to wake up and get out of it. And it was Christian Brown, but he has seemed to find his own. So it has to be Zeke for me,
I like that.
because that's that other guy in that second unit.
What about you, D-Line? First game back for you in
I
the
know.
bar. Big game for you personally.
I'm looking for the Denver Nuggets tonight, Frank. I'm looking to get reacquainted with my favorite basketball team and seeing what they're up to. I mean, I've been watching, but like not as closely as I normally do. I mean, I want to see. It's kind of for me in this time that I've been away. Like Reggie Jackson has somehow been the biggest story. Like he's been the guy that has had the biggest rise, the guy that we've had the lowest expectations for that has risen highest. Obviously, Michael Porter Jr. is always somebody that you want to see like rise to that occasion. Like when Jamal Murray is out, you always want him to be like just seize control and be the unquestioned number 2 guy for the Denver Nuggets, which like he is sometimes, he isn't sometimes. I don't know, man. Like I just want to see like those two. I guess it's those two players, the guys that play alongside Nikola Jokic, and as it comes down to crunch time, like who's going to be the one that steps up and is the reliable number 2 to his peanut butter.
Reggie Jackson in his last 6 games, 16 points, 7 points, 20 points, 14 points, 18 points, 14 points.
Yeah,
Those
man.
have been needed buckets from Reggie Jackson with Jamal Murray out. I mean, he is so far exceeding definitely all the expectations that we had for him heading into the season.
For sure.
Vogt, what about you?
Michael Porter Jr., I think last game's a great example. 18 and 11, it's efficient. They lose a close game. He's 2 of 6 from 3. Without even talking about the shots you wish he would get, we can start with the shots he is getting and not making. If he goes 4 of 6 from 3, which is a great night, but a night he was due for, 24 points, 11 rebounds, they win that game. A+ Michael Porter. The floor is there. He's doing everything else, but right now there's no Jamal. And that missing 5 to 10% to me is the Mike threes. He does the other stuff well, but he's not Mike if he's not hitting those shots.
Right.
And it's okay to want him to hit those shots. And, eventually he'll break out. We keep saying it. Is it tonight? Sure hope so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big game for the starters, obviously. Just with how the second unit's played, I don't feel like there's just a ton of confidence there. And, I mean, you look at just the front line that the Nuggets are going against tonight with the Cavs. You've got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, 2 big guys, a 6'10", 7-footer up front. And so I think it's going to be important. It's important every game, but I think it's going to be important tonight for Nikola Jokic to establish himself inside. And I don't know about you guys. Maybe not you, D-Line, because you haven't been watching them as closely as you normally do. It feels like since Jamal Murray has gone out, even more so in years past, the Nuggets have been needing a great, maybe even historic game from Nikola Jokic in a lot of these games to get a win. And it feels like there's just a ton of pressure on him. Now, like anytime your second best player goes out, more pressure shifts to your star, your cornerstone. But that's just the feeling I've been getting.
Yeah.
It feels like the Nuggets need a great Nikola Jokic game. Like if Nikola Jokic has a bad game, which he rarely does. Like the Nuggets have no chance of winning that game.
Yeah.
Even if he has like an average game.
Dude, he had a bad game. He shot like 3 of 11 or whatever a couple games ago, but it was still like a great game. He can't. It's like impossible for him to have a traditional bad game by everybody else's
And the
standards.
Nuggets have needed him to have great games, it's felt like.
I think that goes back to part of the Porter point is he's been good but not great as a default second best option. We know the bench doesn't have it. Christian seems to be getting it going. So, like, that's a big factor, but it's almost like a known factor that you pencil in. These can still be overcome. KCP is in a really low volume on offense. I'm playing defense. Maybe I take 2-3 threes. And if it's going to be like that, and Gordon's going to be kind of a similar 14, 5, and 2 play defense guy, like Mike needs to score 20-plus points. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's all on him, but it feels like that's what's missing without Jamal. And so if Jokic is anything less than transcendent, they're in trouble, Dev.
Here's a trend that I want to get D-Line's take on. Nikola Jokic has been shooting a lot of threes. Shot 1 of 8 against New Orleans. He's shooting more than double the amount of threes per game that he shot last year. Do you like it? Do you not like it? And, I mean, the context is he's not been shooting a great percentage. On the season, he's at 30% from 3 on 5 attempts per game.
Yeah, I'm finding myself, like, not excited when he shoots a 3 now. Mm-hmm. Like, it doesn't feel like it's going to go in, which is, like, weird when Nikola Jokic lets go of the basketball. You're not like, oh, that's in. Mm-hmm. I like it in that it is such a powerful weapon, and shooters got to shoot, you know, like, you got to shoot yourself out of a slump. And he's shown that he's a better shooter than he's been the last however many games. So, like, I don't know. Like, the man can do no wrong. Like, I want him to get, like, on track with his threes, because then, like, it just, everything opens up. Like, the center has to respect him, has to clear out the paint, then you get all of the cuts. Everything's available. I just want him to make it, man. Just make some shots, man.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason that I dislike it is because it lets the defender off of the hook. They already know they can't guard him, so they're trying to push him to shoot a 3, and he's giving them exactly what they want.
It's the best result a defense could hope for.
That's the
on
reason.
A Nuggets
that's
possession.
The reason that it sucks. And then also now that they're seeing that he's not hitting it, at the rate that he wants to be hitting it, now they're like, okay, well, let's force him to do that. So more teams are going to start playing, drop coverage or just like allowing him to shoot that. And if he's going to keep shooting and missing, they're like, okay, like now we get a breath of fresh air. Like now I'm like exhale, because we're giving him, he's doing exactly what we want him to do. If he just decided to just attack the entire time, he could average 40.
Yeah.
Why not just go and do that, where you give your team a better chance every single time? So that's my frustration with it.
Some of it has to be a fatigue management thing. I mean, with life without Jamal is a lot of time down low, which is exhausting for any big. Having said that, he did 2 straight seasons of life without Jamal. Not 2 straight seasons, but you get the point. So maybe he just wants to get it going. Maybe he just thinks once that's a part of his game, it'll change the geometry of the floor, life on the court for all of the Nuggets, and it's worth it in the long run. Yeah. But I do think Dev isolated why it feels frustrating is that in any given possession, could they find an easier 2 points? Probably.
Yeah. Guys, let's get to some news here. Zach LaVine is on the trade block. He is kind of the first all-star level guy that has emerged as a probable trade candidate so far this season. And let me just give you the backstory on how we got to this point. I don't know if you guys saw last night. The Bulls won.
Right.
They won a game. They beat the Heat, I think it was.
They were down 22-1 to start.
Dude, they were,
22-1.
That's right.
They were down 22-1.
They won that game.
They got memed to death in the first 10 minutes.
Historical comeback from the Chicago Bulls.
Our good friends at CHGO were posting images of themselves booing the team, and then they won.
Yeah. But anyways, after this win, after this just feel good, come from behind, improbable win, Zach LaVine, while the rest of his teammates are celebrating this win on the court, abruptly rushes off the court, refuses to a post-game interview with the Bulls PR after the win. In the locker room, he called it a, quote, miscommunication, which I just love. You know that text from Rich Paul was waiting for him on his phone of just call it a miscommunication.
You thought the interview was later?
Yeah, just classic miscommunication.
Honest mistake.
Why would I do an interview on the court? Like I
thought.
Yeah. A couple games ago, this fucking guy, he's doing an interview at his locker wearing a LA hat.
Clutch guy hanging out with Rich Paul, if you were unaware of the context.
No.
Yeah. But is Zach LaVine the type of player that could push a team in the Western Conference? He might go to the East. I don't really care about that. But if he goes to the West, is he a guy that could push a team up a tier? Say he goes to the Lakers. Say he goes to, I'm trying to think of another West team that could go get him.
Thunder should get him. Denver have
I don't
a
really see
million
that.
draft picks. They should
The
absolutely.
Lakers make a lot of sense here.
It
Lakers
makes
make a
sense
lot
because
of
they
sense.
want him.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for what they could give back to the Bulls.
If like
Well, that's
Dallas
it.
could find a way to get him, if like Sacramento
Dallas
could
is a
find a
fun
way to
one.
get to him, is this a level of player that could bump one of those teams up significantly in your view in the Western Conference?
I think he could help some bubble teams in terms of tiers, take the higher tier.
Yeah.
I don't think he changes. If you're Boston or Denver and Zach LaVine goes to one of these teams, I don't think you're losing sleep. Philly could talk themselves into it in the East, but they also are loving their depth right now, and
Yeah,
they have
why
such a
would
good
they?
vibe going for the first time in years. Maybe that would be naive. The Lakers are the one who, in terms of getting back into like top 4 territory, you could see that helping them.
Yeah.
Of course.
But I don't think Zach LaVine is a everything is different, he just got traded kind of guy.
No.
I like Zach LaVine. I think I might be the only person on this podcast that likes Zach LaVine. Like back before times in the dark era where we were looking for any trade where we would even we would trade Jamal Murray for anybody. I was like, I don't know, I would take Zach LaVine. I like his game. He is a player that can score 50 points with 0 assists, which is
He already did this season.
I know, which is that's not like a great fit for a team like Denver.
I wonder if he did the interview after that game.
Probably with Rich Paul.
I had a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like it depends on the style of play that your team want. Like he'd be great on the Clippers. You know what I mean? He would be great
I
on.
feel like they're kind of maxed out.
They're maxed out, but they should just immediately remove James Harden. I don't know. Like
We're probably close to another James Harden
I
trade
think he's a
request.
really good player. They're in, like the Bulls are just a weird team. They don't.
They're a depressing team.
They're depressing. They have like 2 guys that kind of are play together a little bit. They just don't have a lot of infrastructure that makes sense, and so he looks worse, I think, for it. I think at this stage, like Zach LaVine is a guy that you don't want to be your number 1, maybe not even your number 2, but he's like a good player.
Dev?
He puts 0 fear in me. Like if he came to the West, I don't think no one cares about him in the East. Like he really is. He's just kind of inconsistent. He's just a player. All of his hype is potential. Like he does have those breakout games, but everyone does. I don't think that he moves a team or puts them in contention or puts a team in a position to win. I think that if he goes to the Lakers, he's going to have a monster game in the play-in game. And then you're going to, think that he's just so good, and then he's going to play horrible in the playoffs, and then you remember that these are the type of games that he has. So I do think that he has the potential, and he's like a good player, but he has a lot of not so good games.
Man, he would help Golden State a lot too, I think.
If you swapped him for Chris Paul.
Chat throughout
yeah.
Miami. Chat throughout Miami, which is
Eastern Conference, there's a lot of potential destinations.
But does he make anyone a contender that was not previously a contender? I feel like that's a stretch. I feel like that framing is a stretch, maybe.
I
Perhaps.
think there's a tiny bit of Aaron Gordon potential with Zach LaVine, where if he gets to a really good situation and just kind of
So this is what I mean. Like,
compresses his responsibilities and expectations, and he's just like an instant offense guy, maybe Zach LaVine could rewrite the narrative around him like Aaron Gordon did. I think there's a little sneaky potential with that, but he's got to go to the exact right situation. The Lakers aren't that. Miami could be.
for sure.
Miami's interesting.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get out our phones. Let's fire
Oh
the
my
Bet
God,
365
Trying to
app.
make some money.
Dude, I'm getting reports back from Dev that have been making me blush about how.
Dev's
he's been-
cleaning up.
Dude, I'm like, Dev, chill out a little bit.
Eric,
Like,
Eric is wishing jail time.
no, I was
of the bets.
I was
that I've
like,
been-
Dev, Bet365 is going to launch an anti-Dev division. They're going to figure out how to counteract what you're doing to them.
He might be ahead
Dev's like,
of their
it's
roster.
saying I'm not in Colorado. I can't log in.
Seriously.
only me. There's
So,
only-
yeah, just
I
on-
did it on my friend's phone and it worked. But for me, I'm saying I have the wrong password and I reset it 5 times.
I'm saying, dude, you're going to end up in a dark back room with a hammer.
Well, Denver comes into this game as 3-point favorites. And this is a tough matchup for Denver, honestly. Cavs are a solid matchup for Denver due to them having the two big men and their athletic bigs. And that's where Jokic, kind of has trouble. Not scoring, but I just think keeping up on both ends. I think he still gets his, but not as easily today. They're also missing Donovan Mitchell, which that we see what he can do. When he's hot against the Nuggets, he is hot against the Nuggets.
Dude,
I remember that, yeah.
Their situation is not at all dissimilar from ours going in. Like, they're missing their Jamal Murray.
Who also has a right hamstring strain.
Yeah, dude. Like, those two are just inextricably linked
so
for the
funny.
forever.
That is some crazy stuff. Like,
I'm
you
saying.
get 50, I'll get 50.
Dude, they're like
you
this.
get hurt,
Yeah.
I'll get. Yeah. So I'll take Denver -3 in this one.
Okay.
The over-under is 2-16. This is two slow-paced teams that want to play methodical, and defense will be the name of the game. I really don't know which team is going to want to speed it up. I think that this is an under type of game. I don't see a lot of scoring. I think that Denver tries to score in half-court sets.
Yeah.
So it's an under for me.
Yeah, it's not going to be Denver who's trying to speed it up.
It won't be Denver. On their side of things, Cleveland. Give me over 26 points plus rebounds for Evan Mobley. Every board that Jokic doesn't get, I think he gets. So
Okay.
I'll take that. I think it'll be a big board game for him.
That was AG, you said?
Evan
No,
Mobley.
that's for Evan Mobley.
sorry.
You want to put that one in?
He's starting on
No,
the
I
Cavs
forgot.
side.
You
of
put that
things.
in?
Yeah, I thought
He's on the Cavs side of
Did you
things
hear
right
that
now.
twinkle in his eye and
Yeah.
his voice when he's
Oh,
talking
should I
about
do
the other
that bet?
team?
Oh,
Always
look,
for
Real
the
fast,
Cavs.
real quick, slam the over on Darius Garland
God
points.
damn it.
I don't want to. I
Slam it.
prefer not
As
to.
angry as I get, like, this man can't stop making money.
I know, I should
don't feel
listen to
good
him
about
every
it.
time.
He's going to take like 19 shot attempts in this game.
Yeah, he's gonna
Donovan
shoot it a
Mitchell's
lot.
not there. He takes a lot of shots.
I don't wanna-
22 is just not a lot.
I think I hate money.
And he's fast. KCP has to like keep up with that type of speed and shiftiness. I don't know. Now let's go on the Denver side of things. KCP is going to be guarded by a 3-point specialist, probably in Max Strus. Like that's disrespectful. That is just not right. I think he finally gets going offensively. His
Okay.
over under of 8.5 is plus money. I'm going to go the over
that's a
on
fun
KCP. If he hits 3 threes, he already has it.
Yeah.
So I like that. The points plus rebounds for Michael Porter Jr. at 24. He's been grabbing all of the boards. He's scoring in other ways rather than just 3-point shooting. Imagine if his threes start falling. Why not now?
That seems like an easy
over
one.
24 points plus rebounds. Give me the steals plus blocks on Jokic at 1.5. That's just too low for him. 1.5. And then the lock of the
Okay,
game.
now I've been waiting for this.
Jokic over 9 assists. That's easy. And you know what that means if he gets over 9 assists? That means he's going to get the triple-double too.
Right.
So if you want to go with the 9 assists, you might as well get plus money by just getting for him to go with a triple-double because you know the points are going to come. You know the rebounds are going to be there. The assist is the only thing that stops him from getting the triple-double. This will be a triple-double night for him. Lock me in with the triple-double for Nikola Jokic.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. I'm already nervous, but why am I nervous? I'm betting with Dev. These are his
I
picks.
know you haven't been as locked into the Nuggets as you usually are. Nikola Jokic in his last game against the New Orleans Pelicans, this was 2 days ago, he had 18 assists.
I did see this.
18.
I did see
the
this.
Nuggets-
Tied his career high.
18?
Couldn't buy a three-pointer to save their lives.
I saw that, too.
He had 18 assists.
I saw that, yeah.
Any
10
bets
times.
that you guys like tonight?
I also like Michael Porter Jr. points, rebounds, assists.
Shocker.
Dude, I was going to, if I hadn't shown up 45 seconds before the show started, I was going to suggest that one of our segments be agenda check-in. How's everyone's agenda
We
doing?
can do that post game.
Okay.
It's a good segment for post game, I
Good
think.
time for wind. A week ago, not great. Right now, phenomenal.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to watch this game. Nuggets at Cavs. We'll be back post game, hopefully in the
Let's
winners
go.
lounge. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Throw us a thumbs up before we get out of here.
So good to be back with the
Talk
fellas.
to you guys after the game.
We all silly like the mayor.